know a couple of people were asking me with regards to maybe doing like flyers and deployments on your guys' SureFire and top of mind. So I wanted to go ahead and get going, kind of just show you guys what I've been doing on my end. I am adding some flyers, and I'm going to go ahead and show you guys that. I have noticed that I am having a bit of a problem with you guys seeing it, but I can always share it with you guys and show you guys how to download these flyers. So these do show as private flyers here that I've been creating for you guys. So any type of loan programs, we are going to be adding them on here because I know that SureFire doesn't necessarily add flyers for, DSCR, bank statements, anything like that, something that we have to do ourselves. You will be able to see them here in the public. As you can see, I do show two because I created one under Christopher's name. So I'm going to end up going in and putting them under Christopher. That way you guys all can see them. Again, for some reason on my end, I'm having trouble showing on your guys' end. So I have to do them under Christopher. But do keep in mind that I am creating these flyers for you guys. So I'm sure you guys who are on here, I know you guys have done your account. One of the things that I do see that a lot of people do ask me is just make sure you guys are updating your profile under your account. My profile, you guys are, you can edit your profile here and it'll ask you to update all this good stuff here. You can put your social media. Also, you're adding your picture, add and edit. You can go ahead and add your picture. Once you have done that, anytime that you guys are doing contacts, I did have somebody ask me again on regards to how to add contacts. Once you guys go into contacts, hold on, I lost it. There you go. So you're gonna hit view all contacts. That's to cooperate. And when you've added a contact, it's gonna come up here. So when you're actually adding a contact, it's gonna give you plenty of items to go ahead and add from them. But somebody asked me, well, how do you add the picture after? Well, once you've added it and you've hit create, make sure that you guys are going back and hitting this little 3-dot button, hit edit. And this is where you would actually add the pictures as well as their logos and all that good stuff. Another thing, when you are setting up campaigns, when you're adding any type of contact, make sure your contact type is completed. Whether they're a real estate agent, a client, a lead, personal, family, referral partner, whatever they are, make sure that is completed. And the reason why is, and I'm going to show you guys, once you go and do deployments, it's super important to actually give them a contact type, because if you're going to do deployments, you're going to need to have a contact type for these deployments. I strongly do suggest to put like their birthdays, especially if they are a client. Top of mind will automatically, once you put their birth date here, will automatically set them up on a birthday campaign. So, and especially if you're, once you go in here, your referral contact, your co-brand, make sure you guys are adding that, because, and I'll show you guys on my end, I ended up getting, let me log into my, I want to show you guys on my end how, or you know what, I'll show you guys right now, but on my end, I was able to get a email campaign co-branded with my, and I'm sure some of you guys have already done it, but I just want to kind of show you guys whoever hasn't done it. But on my end, I was able to get an email campaign co-branded with my, my realtor. So that gives them, and that's something that I show my realtors, like, hey, anytime we close a deal or anytime you give me a referral, we're going to be able to co-brand together, because I'm going to set them up in a campaign for you, which is free of charge of you, and they're going to stay top of mind. So, as we all know, realtors love that. So just make sure you guys are co-branding with your realtor partners here. Now, once you have done all that, you've added all your contacts, you've given them all that good stuff. One of the things I'm just going to show you guys quickly, the deployment, it's going to be under marketing. You're going to have a deployment center. You will create a deployment here. Now, you also can do it through your contacts. So let's say if I go through my contacts and I click, I strongly suggest you guys adding yourselves as a client so that you can test out your deployments. So you can see this little rocket here. You can hit, if you're going to just do a deployment for that specific contact. Let's say you just added them, you want to add them, you want to create a deployment for them. You can go ahead and click this deployment. You can set them up for a deployment collection or a one-time email. Let's say we're going to do a one-time email. Oh, sorry. I'm supposed to do the deployment. So we're going to go to the deployment collection. My bad. And you're going to choose what collection you want. Now you can select the market in the minutes. It's going to send it to them weekly. If you notice here, it'll tell you it's a weekly setup. It'll give you the current one up here first. Now, there are other ones, like for instance, if you're setting them up under holidays, anything like right now, let's say the taxes. Let's say I'm gonna hit the select the tax first. You can actually click if you want them to get an email or a text message. Now, not all deployments are gonna give you this option. So just keep that in mind. Most of them are email, some of them are text message, but you can definitely create that deployment from here. Let's say I want to do it as an email. Now this here, it just says choose an email opt-out list to apply. What this basically means is, just for instance, if this client has particularly opted out for any marketing, you can click this and they won't receive any type of marketing. If not, you just hit confirm and send. Oh, okay. We have to choose one. So let's say they don't want to get loan updates. Let's just hit confirm and send. So now we know that they're going to get this deployment. We just hit yes, deploy. So now it's been deployed. They've received, sorry, you close this doc here. They're going to receive this message and it goes instantly. And I'm going to show you guys how. I'm going to forward it to the work email, sorry, because I can't seem to open my personal here. So I'm just forwarding it over here to myself, but you guys are going to go ahead and see the deployment. It went out instantly to your borrower. 1 second. Okay, we can wait on that. So we can go ahead and create deployments from your borrower. If not, you can go and create for several borrowers. The way you do that, you go to the deployment center. We're going to create a deployment, whether you want it to be a one-time or reoccurring deployment. So let's go ahead and do reoccurring. I'm going to call it a test for now, just to be able. Now you can create deployments for your branch or for yourself. In reality, here it would be for yourself. If they give you branch access as branch managers, you definitely can create it for your branch, for your LOs. But in this case, obviously, I'm going to do it for myself as a loan officer. It's going to let you know what frequency do you want this deployment. Well, I do want to stay top of mind. So I want to go weekly. You could choose the days of the week that you want. So if you want to go weekly, well, you know what? Most people are not as busy and they're getting ready to start their weekends and maybe looking at their emails on Friday. So let's do that. What time of day do you want the deployment? I want it at noon, or let's say maybe I want it at about 5 p.m. because that's when people, or 5:30 when people are getting out of work. So they're actually going to start looking at their messages. And I'm going to hit next. Now, again, you can go ahead and create this deployment and ask to see, well, which one do I want? I want, to create the tax one or the tax comic. So this gives them, it falls under the holiday tag. So I'm going to hit that. I'm going to hit use my email, hit next. Now it's going to tell me to build an audience. So I'm going to click the build audience, and just remember, they maybe don't want to get any loan updates. They want to go ahead. The opt-out list is for loan updates because this is pretty much a marketing piece. So now I want to target certain contact types. So here is where I'm going to include, who do I want to include? Well, I want to include my clients because they're the ones who are going to, use their tax money, right? I want to include maybe my personal family, and I'm going to exclude real estate agents. So you do have to exclude someone. If not, it doesn't move forward. but I'm not trying to target real estate agents in this particular deployment. So I'm going to only target my clients and personal family. So I'm going to hit apply. So I have now, and again, this is going to, of course, give you an entire list. I particularly have not updated my particular list, so you guys will see your list on here. But as you can see, I have included myself as a client here. You can individually exclude a client. Let's say, for instance, it's a client who just does not want to get any type of marketing from you. You can exclude that particular client if you go through your list. So now I'm going to go ahead and hit next. And it's going to let me know, again, it's just going to reiterate, my list. And then I'm going to click to deploy. So it wants to confirm, you want to deploy? Yes, deploy. So now my marketing has deployed for that particular tax. Now, just keep in mind, this is going to be only with you as a loan officer. It's not going to do the co-branding. Let me see if it came through. So this is how you will see the co-branding. And this is going to, let me see if I can open this up here. All right, well, I can't seem to open it up. All right, so this is how the first deployment, when I went to that particular borrower only, this came out. And as you guys can see, tax day has arrived. It has my co-branded partner here. I know it's a little cut off, but that's only because I hit forward and I can't seem to open it up over here. But I just wanted to show you guys a sample of how it would look if you guys are doing deployments from there. So it does come co-branded, and it's great for our realtor partners for us to show them that they are, going ahead and, creating those deployments. Does anybody have any questions on deployments? No? Okay. So now another thing that I was being asked for is, how do I create flyers? Because I know a lot of us want to create flyers for our something particular, right? Of course, like for instance, in this case, we have the MI was reduced. Everybody wants to send out this type of news. So we do have the ability to create flyers in SureFire and Top of Mind. My biggest suggestion is to first create your signature line. You can have a basic signature line that you can go from there. Now, do keep in mind, you do have to create your own signature lines for SureFire and Top of Mind. I know it's a little bit tedious, but what I do is I create one, and from there I duplicate them for to create a separate one. So the way you do it is you're basically going to add a signature, and it's going to give you the dynamic company signature here, and you're going to load that. Now, this is only for one, this is only for yourself. So therefore, what I tend to do, and like I said, is I like going in instead and creating duplicating the co-branded one. So when you go in, when you go in to add the signature, you're going to hit the dynamic company, hit load, and then you're going to hit co-brand here. It's going to ask you to choose a company signature. For now, we have, of course, these showing. So you can use either one of these. Let's say we want to use this one, and we're going to use load. You will now have the ability to go ahead and, delete. Whoa. Sorry, guys. 1 second. On my end, I have music coming up. All right, there we go. Sorry about that. That was really weird. I had music coming up on my end. Super weird. On my screen, it was showing some music. So you can click this here. We'll delete her picture. On here, you're going to choose and upload a picture, and you're going to browse your computer. Now, I know that I do have So we'll choose that picture. You're gonna upload. I know I had it here, but I just wanted to show you guys. Hit load. And then of course now we'll resize and place and all that good stuff, right? So the cool part about this, it's going to tell you that it's matching the same distance here as them. Now here, of course, we'll delete it. We'll go ahead and choose a picture. Now, again, my picture is already here, so I'm gonna click mine, hit load, and again, we go ahead and resize. And again, the system, this will let you know where its placement is better. Now, my biggest thing that I've noticed here is when you're deleting this entire thing, if you delete the whole thing, it deletes the color, the size, all that stuff. So I tend to delete only up to here and start typing my name. And then of course, go backwards and delete the D. So that way I can get the same formatting. So I don't delete the whole thing because then I don't get the same formatting. Now, of course, most of this will already go ahead and be there, so I don't need it. And then I'll do the same thing for my realtor partner, update that, and then you can go ahead and save your signature line and give it a title and hit OK. Now, once you have done that, and you're gonna go in and create a flyer. So of course, every signature line you do have to create for every one of your co-branding partners, or if you want to just create one for yourself, you can do that as well. So here you want to make sure you guys are doing your own signature line. Like I said, usually when I just do one, I just change my realtor partner for every other one and I save it so that I always have it there. Now, going into flyers, you can come up here and create a flyer. The first thing that I do is I will basically add my co-brand. The reason for that is because when you're creating a flyer that you want to add a co-brand for, you want to make sure you have that spacing. And I'm going to make this a little smaller. So you want to make sure you have that spacing of your co-branded partner with you so that you know the canvas area that you're going to use for your flyer. When I do go to save that flyer for future usage, like if I'm going to have another realtor use it, or if I'm going to just brand it for myself, I do delete this before I actually save the flyer. Now, the reason I have Canva open, and I just wanted to kind of show you the cool little things that you guys can do, is I tend to like to use Canva for certain items. And the reason for this is Canva will give you a sizing format that you guys can download. Top of Mind does have the ability for you guys to use words. You know, of course, if you guys want to add text, you guys can, add the text. Like if I want to do MI reduction, you are able to go ahead and add any types of shapes, upload any types of pictures. You can do any type of signatures. So it does give you a lot of features here. Now, the reason I prefer to use Canva in a sense is because sometimes it can be a little bit more tedious, or you want to change a certain color or anything like that. And it's not that it's a little bit more difficult to navigate this. For instance, I was trying to create a flyer and I needed to add a shape. So I added a square and I could not change the color of it for the life of me. So what I did instead, and I do highly recommend Canva because it's so much more user-friendly, and this is where I did the MI reduction flyer. But as you can see, somebody asked me for a I-10 flyer. So I was able to create this flyer here. And I am going to create the spacing and I'll download it, and I'm able to make this flyer. Let's say we're not going to co-brand it. Let's say I'm just going to go ahead and share this, and I'm going to download it as a PNG. So now it's downloading. I'm going to go to my top of mind. I don't want it to be co-branded because I do want to go ahead and send it out. I can go ahead and, again, this one was one of the ones that I did, but the other one was a little bit different. So I'll go to my downloads, open, upload, okay. It just gives you the name that you've already named it on there. Here is my flyer, and I hit load. So now I have this here. So what I can do is I can go ahead and save this flyer, and I will be able to categorize it as what? Well, it's a program, loan program. I'm going to make it private for now because it's just for me. We'll make it approved, and we'll put I-10 Spanish. And now you can hit save. So it's saying that I didn't add a signature, which that's okay. At this point, I'm not trying to add a signature to it. But now it's saved. So if I go back to my top of mind flyers, it's going to load up here really quick. I now have my top of mind Spanish flyer here. So as you guys can see, you know, it's a little bit easier to just upload it because you've already created it. And what I love about Canva, like I said, is let's say you really like, you know, a creation that you did on any type of a flyer here. I mean, as you can see, I have tons of them here. You can duplicate it. So let's say you really love the way you presented this flyer and you want to duplicate it, but you're going to do an English version. Well, you don't have to lose that. You don't have to start all over with a creating flyer here and dealing, you know, with all that. You can just make a copy. And now you open it. And then you can start editing your entire items here and make it in English. So let's say you want to co-brand it. You actually do want to co-brand it. And this one particularly itself, it's not co-branded. So you do want to co-brand it. Well, now I want to shrink it because I want to give it the space. So you can go ahead and do that edit here since you already have it. And then start shrinking the usage of your flyer, this bottom portion. And then you just download and upload, which makes it a little bit easier than here. And I'm going to tell you that one of the things that I really love about that is because it, you know, it, top of mind does have limits in the items it does give you here, like the shapes and stuff. It does have some stuff, but it doesn't have a lot. So let's say you want to add a shape, a rectangle. Here's my rectangle. You do have to change your stroke here for your rectangle. And then you're able to, you see what I mean? Like you're trying to change color, but it's a little bit different. So this is where, I had the, you know, it does become a little bit complex, and that's why I'm saying that it's not as user-friendly as Canva. So if you're trying to create flyers, let's say, you know, I do want to upload that picture and use the chopped up portion from the bottom. Because I already had done this for someone. And basically here, I can create a single sheet signature. So I can go ahead and brand it. I can create an individual branding here for myself. So you're able to add your signature here, and you can create a signature. It'll tell you if you want the signature galley, or if, you know, and again, you can go ahead and load this signature. Again, it's not going to have lots of space, but you can shrink this. So you're able to shrink this and make this more branded for you. So as I mentioned, this is why I like to use Canva for my flyers, because I'm able to, you know, manipulate all the designs. All these designs are super easy to do. Let's say, you know, this is a copy. So I'm going to open this one. And I want to change the color of this circle here. I don't want it to be gold. I want it to be, you know, maybe this color or black. You know, that's the beauty of Canva, that you can actually go in and add shapes. You can add text. Here's elements that you can add. Let's say you want to add an announcement. You can add this announcement here, and now I'm gonna just move my announcement. Where did my announcement go? There we go. I want to change the color of my announcement. I want it to be copper. So you're able to add elements and change colors and all that good stuff. You know, that is something that Top of Mind does not have right now. Like I said, it does have, you know, edit tools, cutting tools. You can definitely merge tool fields together and all that good stuff. But the thing of it is it doesn't have the capacity to add elements. It does not have the capacity to add, you know, little features like this square. All of this is all together. You know, I can go ahead and hit shift and move my stuff up. You know, I could, you know what I'm saying? So these are the things that if I'm going to grab two things, I'm going to hit shift. I'm sorry, shift, I hit control. And move it up, move it down, move it to the right, move it to the left, all that good stuff. So it's something that your flyer section here on Top of Mind does not have the capability, but you can definitely, you know, create flyers outside and upload them. And now that we have this flyer, I'm going to end up erasing them, but I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys. Again, these flyers can go ahead and be private. You do not need to make these flyers public. So the cool part about that is that you're going to go ahead and give yourself the capability of adding extra flyers for yourself for your marketing tools. So now that I have that there, if I want to go to my deployment center and I'm sorry, my flyers, if I want to go ahead and go to my flyers and create a deployment off of this flyer, I can go ahead and edit it. I already have my signature line. I know it doesn't look that great, but that's just because it's a sample flyer. And I can go ahead and share it. I can either download it, because, you know, adding the signature line on Canva, you could do that, but I can go ahead and use this for a print. I can share it on, if it's, you guys can make it social media applicable where you guys can be able to share it on social media. So you're able to make these flyers to be able to brand them and share them with your clients. Does anybody have any questions? I know those were two of the things that I was asked. And again, just keep in mind, guys, I am adding many flyers for you guys here. Again, I do have to copy a lot of these and put them under Christopher so that they can be public. But if you guys have any suggestions on any flyers that I can add for you, please feel free to contact me. I want to be able to get as many flyers on here for you guys. Right now, I have done bank statements, investors. I do have lots of suggestions that I'm getting from other LOs. Like, for instance, I have one here that I liked from Arlene, that she told me about the buy downs. So we can add that, you know, something about the 2-1 and what, you know, and 3-1 buy downs, adding something like this. We can definitely do all of that. So, you know, it's all with Top of Mind and sending them out. What we want to just do is be able to go ahead and create these for you guys. If you guys don't have the opportunity to do it, now do keep in mind Canva is free to a certain extent. If you guys want to use additional items, it does. I think they still have a promo right now, 50% off, but it's not expensive. I believe it's like I think it's like $49 a year. And I mean, as you can see, I use it for a lot of different things. I mean, look, my husband uses it for sports, but we use it for a lot of different things. It's super user friendly. It's got so many features that you guys can use. You know, I just recently did an invitation here. You know, we can do, look at these little ads here. This is something that a lot of people really like that I've been doing for Instagram. You can make this animated. So look, I'm going to hit play, and it's an animated ad that you can add for, you know, from Canva. So I have this other one here about mortgage terms. And again, I know this is a little long because I sized it incorrectly, but you can resize it. And then you can go ahead and let's see, I hit play. And it becomes something, and especially like what we learned not too long ago about social media. Social media, what people are wanting is to see a little bit more movement, right? Give something more life. So here you're able to create all these animations. And I can give you guys, a little crash course on that, but it's super simple. You just hit your letters or whatever you want to animate. Let's say I want to animate this. Here you'll have the animate, and it'll tell you what you want to do with it. So you can drift it, you can do a tectonic, you can do this one here, and or a swipe, or a pop, a typewriter. It's really cool. It gives you so many features that you can use to make your single post be a lot more lively. So, people love that stuff. I know we're like little kids with that, but it's something super, super easy to use. Again, you have so many elements here to use. If you want to use gradient, it gives you gradient graphics. If you want to use any type of photos, videos, if you want to add any type of videos here, 10 seconds, it allows for you to add that kind of stuff. Frames, if you want to add any type of frames, it shows you the type of frames you can add, and you can search it. The cool part I love about this is you can literally search every single option that you might have. If you want to find a puppy, whatever type of puppy you want, you can, add that and just add it here. And it, so it has so many really cool features that you guys can add to it. And this is why I do like Canva, because again, you can grab this and put it on your top of mind and make your campaigns off of that. Does anybody have any questions? So that was the 2 items that I wanted to show you guys today. SureFire does have a lot of features, but we do want to make them into smaller segments so that because we are going to have them on our YouTube channel. So if you guys have not received a copy of the YouTube channel or the link, I'm sorry, please email me so that I can go ahead and send it over to you guys. But these are going to be smaller segments that we're going to do with SureFire and top of mind so that you guys are able to start navigating a lot more through it. And that's all for today. If you guys have no questions, thank you. Thank you, Paula, Abby, Angie, for attending. And I know that somebody else was on it, but she fell off.